What is going on, everyone? Is there such a thing as a perfect relationship, right? And I was talking to my sister a couple of days ago, and she's been married for about 10 years now with 4 kids and has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations in her relationship. And she told me something very interesting, right? Being, friends with a lot of married couples with children from, different demographics, that, a lot of those perfect couples you see, they're not so perfect behind the scenes, right? Actually, that's not the truth, right? And I've been in a relationship for 3 years now, right? And I'm engaged to the love of my life. And I will tell you, the first 2 years were not pretty at all, because her and I both had some personal things we were still needing to improve. And then you also have the relationship. And, there's a magical word that starts with E, right? Can you guess what it is? Ego, right? And this is the number one relationship killer, and there's a quote that says, the ego is really just an overdressed insecurity, right? That's because the ego is fragile, right? And as just preach from time and time again, until you discover your true self on the inside, right? And you let go of all of these dogma masks or labels out there, and you really start to love and accept and respect yourself on the inside, then you don't quite have, this opportunity to connect to another individual that has that self-love, that has that respect, to where, a lot of people just go through this endless cycle of just toxic and negative relationships over and over again, right? And it wasn't and I'm speaking also from experience too, right? This isn't a double standard or hypocrisy, right? Where there was a lot of really bad relationships, that a much younger Luke went through, that were not healthy at all, right? Very bad. There was one where he got cheated on literally 2 days before Christmas and found out that his ex was pregnant. Can you imagine Christmas Eve? Literally on Christmas Eve, you find out your so-called, right, girlfriend just got pregnant from somebody else. Another one, New Year's Eve. After 2 years of a heavily toxic relationship, guess who got broken up with on New Year's Eve? So, and it wasn't until, a couple of years before, starting the YouTube channel, after, really restarting life, right? Studying underneath all of these self-help gurus and the ones that even gave relationship advice, none of them talked about self-love, really. They just wanted to, focus on the business side of things. This is how, you become successful. This is how you, make a lot of money in business, but none of them really, even using the law of attraction and other laws just for business purposes, but avoiding the heart and the root that they did not want to preach, which was self-discovery and self-love on the inside, right? And dissolving the ego. Because when this happens, what it allows is for us to really learn and grow in our relationships together, right? When you see a couple that seems perfect, what you're really observing is two individuals that have dissolved their egos, and they can just learn and grow on the fly together, right? It's just every day, every week, something happens, and they can talk about it with each other. They have that healthy space where there's no ego to talk about, hey, that was bothering me, this was bothering me. Even sometimes it might seem a little, oh, they're going to think I'm cuckoo. No, there's no ego here, right? This is something genuinely making me uncomfortable or bothering me. Hey, I want to talk to you real quick about something, right? Right away. Tony Robbins says it perfectly. If something's bothering you in the relationship, talk about it right away. Don't let it build up. And there's no ego, so you guys are able, like I said, just to learn and grow on the fly, where people on the outside are kind of observing, where 90%, 99% of the time there's no tension. They just seem like a perfect couple. But don't get me wrong, there's going to still be, once a month or every couple of months, something that just comes along, and, it turns into maybe a week ordeal or something, and they need to work it out, right? But because there's no ego, they work it out and they grow, and their relationship becomes even deeper, right? And I'm not going to tell you how to improve your relationship. I'm just answering the question, is there such a thing as a perfect relationship? And the answer is no. However, this is how you can strive to where you can have just near perfection 90% of the time, where you guys are happy together and comfortable, and that 1%'s okay, right? It allows you to learn and grow and appreciate each other even more afterwards. You all have a beautiful day. Love is out there. It's always out there. And don't ever point the finger, right? And I'm not I'm not speaking out of hypocrisy, guys. Don't ever point the finger at other people, right? You were, like Bob Proctor used to say, you were the only problem you will ever have and the only solution. Bye-bye.